Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me today is Ben.
I haven't had any allergy meds in like 3 days, so if I'm a little more nasally than usual, that's a thing.
It's because we're in the 100-acre wood.
Yeah, pollen.
Getting it all in.
Everywhere.
Abandoned houses, trespasser signs, whole deal.
We're doing Winnie-The Pooh, if that's not clear. 100 acre.
Winnie-the-Pooh.
If 100-acre wood wasn't enough of a tell, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Ben, what's your history with Winnie-the-Pooh?
So, however many weeks ago, we decided to do a podcast episode on Winnie-the-Pooh. And I decided that I should probably do, I should take in some Winnie-the-Pooh media.
That's not really how it started. It started with just you asking me about Winnie-the-Pooh stuff and me getting excited.
We had mentioned it somewhere else. Like, it wasn't out of nowhere. Because it was like TV shows or books or something that influenced us. Was it another episode? I feel like it was. And it was like brought up and I knew nothing about it. And then I was like, I should really do this up at some point. For some of the same reasons that I should have done Godzilla up a long time ago. Like, it's a cultural thing that...
Might have come up when we were just discussing Disney stuff? I don't know.
That might have been it. That was probably it. And then it turned into, well, there's actually enough here to just do Winnie-the-Pooh straight up. So,
yep. There's more than enough. There's a lot of Winnie-the-Pooh stuff we're not covering.
Yeah.
But that's less good and important. So
I guess... Because we had discussed that a bit, and then what got me... we'll start at the beginning. There was not a lot of Winnie Pooh in my childhood. Mm-hmm. There was like that ambient amount that I think everybody roughly our age had, or younger, I guess, as the case is, given how old it is. But, it was there. It was a thing that I probably saw on TV now and again, or saw like part of one of the movies or some of the movies, just through daycare or school or whatever happened to be going on. But it was never something that was like outright read to me, and I never was super into it. Like, kids always hone in on like one thing and they watch like Lion King 1,000 times in a row and nothing else. So that was mine was something else, probably Thomas the Tank Engine or something. I don't know.
It wasn't the Gnome Mobile?
Oh.
That's a live-action Disney movie that
no
one remembers except my friend who wasn't sure it was real. He thought it was maybe a dream he had once.
Oh, no. That sounds...
We watched that together. It was an experience.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Gnome Mobile.
It's okay.
Oh.
It was a live-action Disney movie.
Yeah.
There's a Gnome Mobile song.
Great.
Gnome Mobile, we're going around in the Gnome Mobile. It's basically that quality.
Oh. Yeah, how is that not coming to Blu-ray? Why haven't I seen this?
It's in the vault.
Yeah, it's staying there forever. But as I probably mentioned in the Ben Gets Married episode of this podcast, on my plane ride home, I watched Saying Goodbye to Christopher Robin, which, like, you're watching it, and I'm like, yeah, this is, like, hitting the emotional notes and whatever, but very clearly has been exaggerated. So, first thing I did when I got back was, I'm going to look up and see exactly what was stretched out here, because it's still interesting. And then I was looking at it more. I'm like, I should just actually read Winnie-the-Pooh. And then I messaged you about it, and this happened. And now we're here.
Yeah, also the Gnome-Mobile has a plot that's similar to like the Twin Fairy stuff from Godzilla. Of someone kidnapping them and trying to make money off them. That kind of thing.
Do they later make money for themselves by appearing on a...
well, I never saw the Gnome-Mobile 2, so I don't know.
No. Is there a sequel?
I don't think that exists.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, Winnie the Pooh was my mom read it to me as a kid. I basically had those books memorized. They're like my favorite thing as a kid. They're definitely one of. I think they're the best kids book.
Yeah.
Like I actually just think that straight up. I really like them. I like that Disney movie is. I've like thought. I can't. It's hard for me to like just pick a favorite Disney movie, but I think it's Winnie the Pooh. That's the one I
Okay.
go to currently when I think of a favorite Disney movie. But that's a lot of it's nostalgia and love of the books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was in a play for Winnie the Pooh in like 5th grade.
Were you
I played
Eeyore?
Christopher Robin.
Oh, that's
I
surprising.
wanted to play Eeyore.
Well, that makes sense.
That's who I wanted to be. The cast was Christopher Robin. I only had a complete and total nervous breakdown on stage once.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was the thing. But yeah, no, Winnie the Pooh is a big part of my childhood. It's a thing I've always loved as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm. And after having gone through everything, like, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. No, there's a lot of my tastes can be tied back to Winnie the Pooh.
That's why
would
you
say.
build so many bear decks in Magic. Holy shit.
There's a lot of. I mean, it even goes to like the kind of characters I like to play in D&D, like simple-minded characters.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess when we played, like, if you replaced money with honey, your character was basically Dragon Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, no, it's because I also like Wario. There's similar threads,
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah. So that's my history is pretty like, I love this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Although, again, beyond the books and the movie, I wasn't like die hard about the Disney Saturday morning cartoon or some of the other shorts or any of the, and definitely not any of the later stuff.
Yeah.
It's really the core Winnie the Pooh that is any good. And then there's a bunch of exploitative stuff that's out there too.
Yeah, no expanded universe stuff.
No.
Just the originals.
I don't need Tigger sucks Piglet into a vacuum cleaner. Haha.
Yeah.
Haha.
Or Disney adds a Heffalump character. A real Heffalump character. Turns out they make good stuffed animals. We got numbers to make.
I mean, look, people like elephants.
Yeah, that's
why
true.
Babar is popular.
Fuck, that's been a while. That's been a while.
That's another thing I really liked.
I watched, there was like a VHS that I did up of that. Had like a couple stories or something.
Yeah.
He got a suit.
I remember nothing about Babar except, he had a suit and he had a crown.
Yeah.
And he was an elephant.
Yeah.
Monarchy,
Well, yeah. Happens.
Yeah, but, so, you're Winnie the Pooh. You're diving into the pool of Winnie the Pooh. How did it go?
I really liked it. Like, I really, really liked it. It's kind of... It's like, I don't want to say it's what I needed, but I feel like that sort of thing. Like, if everybody on Earth would just sit down and read like Winnie the Pooh, I feel like people might be a little less shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a nice book with nice stories, and I like that. Like, I've been liking nicer things lately. I cannot tell if someone knocked at my door or if that was another door opening. Anyway, as Rabbit would say, nobody's home. Nobody here.
Is anyone home? No. Definitely not.
But yeah, and I've been liking nicer, like when we did our Game of Thrones episode, like Game of Thrones is real violent, and I don't know, over time that's begun to be a turnoff for me. Like Sopranos, that choked that hooker, she died, and I'm like,
Yeah, no.
what if What if this was a nice story instead? Like, and then I
What if
started,
I wasn't just consuming fiction about terrible people all the time?
yeah,
Like
and
nice people can be weird and slothful and greedy too.
yeah,
Like you can still be flawed people that aren't just monsters.
yeah, exactly. And like that's, I mean, it's not nearly the same, but that's partially why I really liked Downton Abbey. Was everybody was some level of decent. And I think, as I've said before, probably to varying people at various times, I have liked and hated everyone in that show because everybody shows like some level of good, and like that's important to me. So reading this, I was like, it's nice to just have like nice characters, like they're intrinsically decent, generally.
Yeah, there's no villain
Yeah,
except Winnie the Pooh.
I mean he's
If
that.
you take the perspective of bees or maybe rabbit,
Yeah, he's that sort of bear.
he's that sort of bear. Look, he wants to hear stories about himself.
Yeah. Well, so does Piglet. Piglet got real into that song. 7 verses, man.
Yeah. Look, Piglet's just very small. And
Yeah.
he's got a lot of anxiety. Okay. He's got okay, it's just very the world's big and he popped his balloon and oh man.
Yeah. So one of the other things that we did for this was watch the Soviet-Russian version of Winnie the Pooh.
Yes.
Which actually is not like it sounds terrible to say you took in the Soviet-Russian version of anything, but it's actually good. Like it's just Winnie the Pooh in a different style.
Yeah, it's just Winnie the Pooh in a different style. Like my only things like it's just the 3 stories it adapts. Like it adapts them pretty straight. It's just the big thing it changes just as it takes out Christopher Robin from stories.
Yes.
Like
And
there's interactions where it just puts Piglet in there instead.
I think the reasoning for that is probably the most Soviet thing, because they just didn't want to have a superior human character. Like they wanted all the animals to be equal. So that's like it's like the farthest it goes, but it's not like it shoves it down your throat.
No, it's and just Pooh doesn't look like Pooh. It's just
It's
one
a
minor thing.
Yeah, I mean
That bothers me.
it's a totally different like.
But that's just
Art
because
style.
I mean, obviously, I love those original illustrations a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't the thing I grew up with, so I don't like it as much. I'm not fucking surprised.
I just think it's super interesting that they did it around the same time. Like they came out in 69 and
Yeah, it's like 3 years later or something.
yeah, and just totally independent of each other. And I think one of the writers for Disney's version said that he liked the Blustery Day Soviet one better than his own, as far as just how it's done. I don't know. I think I felt way more sorry for Piglet in the Russian version. Like when his balloon pops, he's so sad. He's like so sad, like he's crying.
He's upset. It's an upsetting thing that happens.
Yeah, dude. Also, this is, my Russian class coming in strong here. I forget exactly what the wording is in the book, but when Pooh is going to give the honey pot to Eeyore, and he wants to write, what does he want to write on it? Congratulations, Pooh, like as in from Pooh, something like that.
Well, in the book it's like happy. He just wants to write happy birthday on it, but
Right.
then Owl writes way too much because he doesn't know how to write happy birthday. So then he just comes up with it's like a happy birthday from Pooh or something.
Okay.
It's just some extra stuff. It is just some extra stuff tacked on. But,
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that in the Russian version, Owl is talking about, oh, you need to say like, I wish you a beautiful day and health or something like that, like way more. And that's like a thing. Like whenever you say, they don't get to slack off and just say happy birthday. Like if you say happy birthday, they actually do like birthday wishes. So it's like you'll get a paragraph on your birthday or on holidays sometimes. That was became very aware of that when I said happy birthday to Anya, and suddenly there was a problem. And I that's it? Like, what do you mean that's it? No wish? What do you mean no wish? So, I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
It's a very happy birthday with love from Pooh.
Okay.
What he says is written on it.
Yeah.
But it just says like happy bur 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 bur
Yeah.
bur bur bur. Because Al doesn't know how to write.
He kind of does. You can spell Tuesday. It's respectable.
He knows how to write his name.
Wall.
W-O-L.
The Walry. But yeah,
I mean, to be fair, he's learning from Christopher Robin, who also he's not
yeah.
fully educated.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm in. Like, this is I have that book, and it's like the big, like, thick collection of all the stories and then some extra poems and stuff. And legitimately, I'm just like, this is going to remain in my possession. I'm just going to read it to my kids. Like, this is that's how it's going down now. But in the front where it says this book belongs to, you bet your ass my name's there.
It's funny. Yeah, there's just so many little details about it that I love. Like, I love the map in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing I would just, like, books with maps are always good, and that one's just such a good, simple map.
Yeah.
And just and I like the meta-ness of it. Like, and I think the Disney movie does a good job of working that in terms of it being a story.
Yeah.
And it being about stuffed animals.
Yep.
But it
you can
also...
even,
but it's
animation.
Like, this is their real adventures. They're just remembering, but it's also, it's a story. Like, it never makes it magic, but it never, like, makes it unreal either. It kind of just, like, lets it be both.
Yeah. I really
Which I think is, like, a part of the, like, in contrast to some, like, more modern stuff, like Toy Story. Which is just, it's magic. Or what, like, and it's not a thing that the kid interacts with at all. It's just the other world or whatever.
Yeah.
But this feels more like true to the way kids interact with their imagination.
Oh, absolutely. Like, especially I really liked the in the movie how they would have if, like, when Pooh, like, fell, or Tigger, like, fell out of the tree or stuff, just how they would animate them so it looks like a stuffed animal falling.
Yeah, that's
that subtle stuff. It's so
like,
good. And just, like, they bonk on the ground, but they're not hurt because they're a stuffed animal.
Yeah. And they established that real early. Of, like, it's sort of like a horror movie. Of Pooh, like, spins his head all the way around.
Yeah, he like. Oh God, I've definitely seen some edits involving Satan and rituals.
And, like, he pops out his fucking back, and he just has to, like, tie it back up.
Like some sort of nightmare-fueled horror.
Yeah, he's a stuffed animal.
Mm-hmm.
I like the nail in his tail.
Yeah, just tapping
that in.
Yep. I got this. And then even when it comes out again, like, doesn't hurt because he's a stuffed animal.
It's not like, they eat and they're real, but they're also just stuffed creatures. So good. Oh, and I love, like, the stuff of, like, this is a real this is a real forest that, like, he's hanging out with, like, the trespassers.
Yeah.
Shot sign that's been
This is my
broken
father.
part of
Trespassers.
my grandfather. Trespassers L. He's Trespassers W.
The Mr. Sanders.
Yeah.
That's such a simple, stupid joke that I don't get sick of. He lived under the name Mr. Sanders because that's the name that was above his door. Like, it's so good.
In the Russian version, they just made it Mr. They made the sign above his house Mr. Pooh. Like, just said Winnie-the Pooh above his door. I was like, what?
Yeah. They might have... That might just be like a thing. Like they don't have that phrasing, so it would have just been like, "The hell do you mean?"
Oh, it's a
under?
weird joke.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean,
Also,
it's
they
good.
changed the color of the balloon. They didn't. They made it a green balloon instead of a red balloon.
I mean,
When Piglet pops.
well,
Look, man.
they gotta distance themselves from communism somehow. Can't just have a red balloon in a Soviet cartoon. Come on, you can't pop a red balloon. Not in Soviet Russia.
That's fair. Good point. Good point.
I do. And
Why isn't Pooh wearing red then, though?
I don't know. Cause he's a little bear. He's a little forest
Doesn't
bear.
even wear a shirt.
It's because they're natural animals.
I mean, in the book, he only wears a shirt when it's cold.
Yeah, it wasn't brisk. It wasn't brisk enough.
That's fair.
Rabbit's wearing glasses.
It's true.
I
Rabbit's a nerd. Rabbit looks. It is weird why they make Rabbit like more humanoid in both film versions.
Yeah.
Whereas in the book, it's
yeah, it's just a
He's just a
rabbit.
rabbit.
It's definitely just a rabbit, straight up.
yep.
Yeah. So Anya was definitely in like probably closer to your camp for Winnie the Pooh. I don't know about stories. I should have asked, but she was super into the cartoons. And those are, I guess, like the film. I don't know if there was a collection released or what, but she watched them a ton. And I don't know. The song that he's always humming is like pum 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 pum. Like, she'll just do that. Just like still sings these Winnie the Pooh poems.
Uh-huh.
And even
Yes. I like it in the movie when they do like a couple times they'll do one of the poems that was actually in the book,
yeah,
and they'll put that.
That's
to music.
actually-
I like that.
the poems in the book are far more enjoyable than the poems I'm reading in my poetry class. Like, hey, look, there's a meter in a rhyme scheme. This is wild. It's good stuff.
Also, oh yeah, that was the one other detail they cut out of the Russian version
What's that?
that I was sad about is they cut out the tut tut. And it looks like it's going to rain.
Oh,
It just
yeah.
says it looks like it's going to rain. It doesn't add tut tut on the end.
Looks like it's good, right?
Also, I love the way Christopher Robin delivers that with zero emotion.
Yeah, yeah, just like, okay, I'll do it.
It looks like it's raining. Tut tut.
It looks like rain. I really liked how into the book the film got.
Yeah.
Like I mean, especially with Gopher, like, I'm not the story, you know. Like, and he's gone. Well, you know, he's not in the book.
Uh-huh.
And then when Tigger is in the tree and the narrator just tilts the book, like, there you go.
Uh-huh.
You get that.
Yeah,
Like, that
here we
was
go.
that was so good. Like, that was so unexpected and good.
Yeah, that stuff's real good. A lot of the book stuff in the movie is like interstitials between the shorts that is like that's the stuff that was original to the movie version that tied the shorts together. It was a lot of that book stuff. It's like the framing device.
Yeah. And it's done.
Yeah,
it's done very well.
Yeah, I love that stuff and I'm always a fan of that kind of meta. Like I like books that play with being books.
Yeah.
Like always. That is honestly it makes me bored of regular novels because I want it's kind of stupid because like novels should just be allowed to be books, but I always want novels to be playing with the fact that they're books and that they're stories.
God, you and your
I always
impossible
want that.
standards.
I
I really-
mean, yeah, that shouldn't be your baseline, but kind of is mine for books.
Yeah, and even initially, like the first story or two or whatever, where it's basically talking to Christopher, like it's a it's a book
Yeah.
about reading the book to
Yeah, it's
Christopher
like
Robin.
it's like written in second person. It's
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah. And then Christopher Robin like interjects.
He's like, no, I didn't get anything for Eeyore. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
yes, you gave him
Yeah.
a set of paints, and then you got him a cake, and you had a big party. It's like after the story is over, like the tacked on,
Yeah.
happier version,
Of course you did.
or it's like after he shot Pooh. It's like, I shot him. Is he okay? Yeah, he's fine.
He's
Don't
alright.
worry about it.
In the Russian version, like, did I miss? Well, no, you didn't miss exactly, but you didn't hit the balloon.
Yeah, that line's in the book.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
That line's in the original story. It's not in the Disney version.
Okay, that's why.
Because
Like
Christopher Robin doesn't
discrepancy.
shoot him to get him down, and the bees
Well,
just
you
pop
can't
the
just-
balloon in the
you can't-
Disney movie.
Look,
I mean, Winnie the Pooh does pull out a gun in the Disney movie, though. He doesn't use it, but he
has a little
definitely
cart
has a gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the book, that's how Christopher Robin gets him down. Is that
Yeah.
whole shooting thing? That's
I
straight
know.
from the.
I know that. I just forgot that he actually hit Pooh first.
No, it has that exact line. Of,
Okay.
Well, you didn't miss.
Okay. That was
But I
like,
appreciated them adapting that straight
yeah,
because it's great.
it's pretty good. The other thing that I just like, I mean, of course, I would like this in general. Just how it's like a nice little forest. Like they're in a forest and there's little streams and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, there was
Back in the days where if you had a kid, you just tell them, "Hey, yeah, go out into the woods."
yeah, get out. There was a description that I really liked of the stream, and it was talking about how when it starts out, it's it's so little and it's new and it's like young and it just wants to go everywhere and see everything, so it spreads out. And by the time it reaches the edge of the forest, it's all grown up and it's lazy. It just goes along, and I'm like, you're making me hate my life. I want to be lazy and like lounge around in the woods and look for honey. I should be reading this right now. Got homework to do.
You can't do nothing anymore.
I
Not
know.
allowed.
I know. It sucks. I felt that on a very real level. I was sad in several ways at the end of the book.
Yeah, that's such a hard line to draw with ending that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And many things I think just don't do it. But
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh,
Oh,
I think handled it pretty well.
He crushed it. Like, I thought it would just, and again, knowing nothing, I thought it would just, okay, we have a story, and it just happens to be the last one in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, he could have written another 400 stories because just keep going, just milk the cash. But the fact that there is actually like a solid ending that has weight behind it, it just makes it so good.
Totally. That's why it's kind of annoying how much Disney milked it. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it took it real far.
Disney gonna do what Disney gonna do.
Yeah. Can't take Disney
do-
seriously anymore, though.
I do find that the premise of the live action one kind of gross.
Which thing?
The thing with adult Christopher Robin, played by Ewan McGregor.
Right. What's I like that one I didn't see anything of.
I haven't
What's-
watched the movie, so I really can't
What's-
speak to it. But
what's
it
the
is
plot again?
literally he's an adult, and sad and cold, and then Winnie the Pooh comes and says, "Oh, you've forgotten the magic," and then he freaks out because
It's Ted. It's the talking
yeah,
bear.
it's Ted. It's basically Ted. Yes, it's Disney's Ted.
It sounds like Hook. Like,
I mean, yeah, it's in that
okay,
model of thing, I would say.
it sounds like something like my enjoyment of that film. I think would depend largely on Ewan McGregor's performance because I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care about Peter
Yeah.
Pan, but Hook is great because Robin Williams is great.
Yeah, I just don't like that premise at all, so I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
Yep.
And it doesn't. And again, doing like live action Winnie the that doesn't hook me. That's
It
not
doesn't.
something that's interesting to me at all. I really like the animation in the original.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think it works great in a CGI medium. Like that's something that it needs to be. It needs to be 2-dimensional. Like it needs to be a drawing. If you're going to make a Winnie the Pooh thing.
Yeah. I just think that holds the like boundary better between like of this in between space between like the real world and
Yeah.
the fictional, and it being a story. I don't know.
It shouldn't exist for similar reasons that a live action Calvin and Hobbes movie should never exist. It's just it won't be good. It might not be good because we already have one of Winnie the Pooh. So, thankfully,
I mean,
goodbye Christopher
Well,
Robin did not have that.
Yeah. Also, I saw the trailer for Goodbye Christopher Robin. I was like, oh god, no. That looked appalling to me at first blush. Like that's it's just the kind of movie I hate.
In
Like
what sense?
Sacrimonious true story.
Yeah.
Like that tone for a based on a true story thing, I'm just 100% over it. Like even with movies that I've liked that I think do it okay, I kind of just don't want to watch them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think it's a worthwhile endeavor to make that something that's saccharine that's based on reality. If you're gonna do something based on reality, do it because it's fucking too crazy to have been real, or actually, or just do a documentary.
Yeah.
Like do it real. I don't need like a fictional feel good thing that's gonna change facts to make it nicer.
It wasn't really feel good though. It's kind of like the opposite.
Well,
made him look like a dick.
Yeah. I mean, he was a dick. The writer of Winnie the Pooh wasn't a great person. He wrote a great children's book, but
Like I think
mostly seems like he sucked as a human being.
I think the movie just made it worse as far as his family goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they made it look like that Christopher Robin was miserable all the time because he was only Christopher Robin and he was just on talk shows being exploited and all this stuff. And when I was looking up to kind of, look into this and see what the deal was, like, is this true or what happened here? There was an interview with the actual, I forget his real name, straight up, like his real full name, Billy Moon, real full nickname. And he's like, I enjoyed it though, like I enjoyed it as a kid. I got lots of attention. Still not great, like it's not ideal, but it wasn't nearly as much of a terrible experience as the movie would have us believe.
Fair enough.
But it was, I don't know, it was interesting, I guess. But you haven't done anything Winnie the Pooh and you watch that. It's a lot easier to just, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, also, like, I see a whiff of them, like, I could just watch Winnie the Pooh again, though.
Yeah, or I could just, like, bust out the...
Why would I actually care about this, though, when I could spend my time just rewatching Winnie the Pooh?
Mm-hmm.
What is the value here?
People like to feel. Other people like to feel. People who aren't dead inside like to feel things.
Which is also one of my things with stuff that's, like, so reverential to some other work, which is part of my problem. I don't know if you watched it, but the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie, which was in
No.
theaters.
Hard no.
I think I
I don't
told
even
you
know what.
you didn't need to worry about it.
Yeah,
don't
because I
remember
asked what movies
happened or
to
not.
check out. He said just the once. That's what I did. Cause
Ben, you there?
what? Oh,
You're
did I
muted
die?
now. I've lost him.
Oh no.
He's gone.
Am I back? Help. Oh no.
Oh, you can hear me and I can't hear you. That's cool.
Can you hear me now? Oh no. Can you hear me now though?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't
Your
stop
mic
recording,
was
did you?
not- No, your mic
Okay.
wasn't lighting up though.
That was weird. I could hear you perfectly the whole time. You're just like you're like panicking,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah, I'm here. What's up?"
Because I couldn't hear you. I just
Okay.
stopped being able to hear you and you weren't lighting up in Discord.
Okay. Well, near-death experience happens.
Apparently. Apparently.
What
I don't remember what I
was
was saying.
2011 movie?
Yeah.
What
Did
you
you
see
watch
it?
that? Or
No.
yes, so I've watched it. It's way more like gets the feel at parts of the original movie than you might expect.
Is it?
But it's
is
also,
it new
like-
stories or is it a redone adaptation?
I mean, it's like a sequel. It's just doing different stories
Okay.
that the original movie didn't do. Like it's doing the Eeyore's lost his tail and some other stuff thrown in there. But the big thing, it like invents a villainous character
Oh no.
that doesn't exist. It's all like they just like
Who's-
it's Owl misreads a note from Christopher Robin saying he'll be back soon, and then they go
So-
crazy.
Oh, is that the villainous character, or is it an actual like new character?
That's the villainous character. It's not a thing. There's like a post credits
it's a-
thing with it, but it's not an actual thing they encounter or anything. It's just them being scared of a thing that doesn't exist. Like it has its own. Like they do their own version of Heffalumps and Woozles for it with the song.
Well, I mean, they already put Heffalumps in the movie, so you can't have those be the enemy anymore.
Exactly, because they made the Heffalumps movie.
So have you seen all of
whatever.
the other animated ones then?
No, this one is just, I put it differently because this one was in theaters. This one is more of a real movie.
Okay.
And they had it, so it had more of a budget,
Yeah.
so it's better. And it's like surprisingly good for one of the Disney things they do after. I also think it's totally unnecessary. And like, it's not a thing anyone needs to see, and it does feel more generic than like part of the magic of the original Winnie the Pooh in terms of like just doing action beats and stuff.
Yeah.
But it gets enough stuff right that it's still fun, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like boring the way I think some of the other adaptation stuff is.
Yeah.
And it's still it actually goes farther with the playing with the book stuff. Weird, like there's more like running into letters and
Okay.
stuff. Like they got out of a hole at one point by Pooh building a bridge out of all the letters from the paragraph that have fallen into the hole. Like there's some fun stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And again, it is in parts just straight adapting from one of the stories it hadn't used before. Like the part of again, it's the Eeyore lost his tail thing, which they like barely touch on in the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of do that whole story. That's like the B plot for the movie.
Yeah.
But Eeyore's voice doesn't really sound like Eeyore. It's different, and I don't like it as much. Because
Yeah.
Eeyore is my spirit animal.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Uh,
I would you say that I guess at least maybe in the original,
uh-huh.
possibly in later movies, would you say that Tigger is like kind of a kid's favorite, like on a
I
large
mean, that's
on a
why there
general
was
scale? Yeah.
that's why there was the Tigger movie.
Okay. Because I was thinking of like reading the book and then especially watching the movie. I'm like, Tigger seems like something that kids would get really into, and then when you get to be my age, you're like, dang, that's real. That's a lot. I
Yeah.
want someone
No.
quiet.
No,
Like,
no. Tigger was always. I was like, yeah, this is where Winnie the Pooh it would sell out.
yeah,
This is like the
yeah.
avenue for Winnie the Pooh
Yeah,
to be
like,
lame.
oh, he's happy and bouncy, and kids love him.
He has his shtick that he
Yeah,
always does. The wonderful thing about Tiggers,
yeah.
he's the only one.
He's the
And also, you can
Olaf of
feel it
Pooh.
in the movie too, because he just shows up briefly in Blustery Day, and then the third one is like about him.
Yeah.
Like you can even within that movie, you can feel it coming of
Mm-hmm.
like the marketing power behind Tigger.
Yeah.
Whereas my favorite characters are Eeyore and Pooh.
Pooh
Who
was
are
top
not.
tier.
Pooh is he's so good.
And I
Oh,
like
he got
Kanga.
stuck in that hole. And he couldn't get out.
Yeah.
He just had to sit there.
I like Kanga.
Kanga's pretty good.
I also I love so I love how it like in the Disney movie, like you have Kanga and she's a
Mm-hmm.
kangaroo, and then you have Roo and he's just a small kangaroo. And in
Uh-huh.
the book, like there's Kanga and then Roo just looks kind of like a squirrel or like a chipmunk or something. Like he's just kind of a blob. It's I don't know. It's so cute. It's like yeah. Not as drastic as the rabbit change.
No. Also, they really amp up Rabbit in the 2011 movie.
How so?
Like he comes up with like he organizes their weird military. It's weird.
Oh
They've
no.
like amp up his character a lot in ways that's just like, okay, movie. I guess you're
See,
doing this.
I kind of liked. I mean, obviously, there's the story where they try to abandon Tigger, which I kind of feel him. Kind of feel him on that. But
Yeah, that's a big part of the 2011 movie. Also does the getting rid of Tigger's bounce story.
but I in the Disney version, I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, maybe it makes for a bit better of a movie to watch instead of something to read. But like when Pooh comes looking for Rabbit, and Rabbit's like, "Oh God, not again," and just starts hiding all this stuff. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's not how he's like in the book.
yeah. And then in the Russian version, like he's actually like, yeah, okay. Like he's hesitant, but he doesn't try. He just keeps
Yeah,
feeding him.
I honestly found the Russian version just hard to read what he was doing.
Yeah,
Like he was like saying the things from the book, but I didn't know what
I think it was like that.
emotion he
I
was
think
doing it with.
I think it was supposed to be like he doesn't want to be eaten out of house at home, but he's following like politeness, social protocol.
Yeah, it seemed
sort
like
of
he was
things,
just
like,
being he was
he's
just being
being-
polite.
yeah, which
Whereas
I kinda
in
get.
the book,
In the
I
book,
think he's actually scared of it being a predator.
I think I thought in the book it was like just like, yeah, come on in. Like have
Well,
something
it's
to
like
eat.
he actually doesn't know who it is.
Oh, when he's like doing
When
the
they're
whole
doing
like
like
nobody's
the
home.
first thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that bit. Yeah, in the Russian version it's a little odd. Like I don't know what that deal is about.
Yeah, because he's
Um,
like comes up. Part of it's weird because the way the Russian version is animated. It's all like those single shots. So
Yeah.
to get Rabbit speaking on screen, they like have him come out through a window above them. So he's like looking at them. So it's weird because it's it feels more like it's doing the thing of him just not necessarily knowing it's Pooh, but he can see him, so it's
Yeah.
definitely Pooh.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
At least
I
the
just,
Disney version, like the emotions of the situation are clear. Like
I just
he
like,
really
once
doesn't want
he's-
Pooh to come over.
Yeah, just once he's like, I don't know, they do that bit, but once he realizes it's Pooh, then in the Russian version he seems like, yeah, okay, come on in, like you can keep eating, it's fine, or he's at least not like upset about it.
Except he drops that dish when Pooh asks, "Is there more?"
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know.
He is more of an internal struggle. in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
version.
He was like freaking out internally, like how he was gonna feed himself that night. But
Yeah. Whereas in the Disney version, it's all on the surface.
yeah, and
All
in the book, isn't it just like I
It's
don't know.
very quick.
Yeah, if there's any like I didn't even just like remembering it now, I
Like-
don't even remember any like hesitance on Rabbit's part. Seems like he just was okay.
It just says like Pooh sat there for a while and then
Yeah.
shook his hand and left.
Yeah,
Like, there's no. It doesn't
just a
even make it
little meal.
clear like he ate him out of house and home.
yeah.
Like there's no like
The only
and
the
he
only
ate
thing
all
is
the honey or he ate seconds or anything.
yeah. He sat there for 4 hours and binged on everything Rabbit had to offer. And just like okay, had some
It's
condensed
just
milk.
the very sticky reply. I think is like the
Very
one
sticky.
detail.
That's such a good way to describe it too. Like a sticky reply, like honey.
Oh, they
Actually-
that's the thing the Disney version does. It, like goes all the way with him. It's like the grossness of him eating honey.
Yeah, he's just
All the
covered
time.
in it. It is so good. I also love between his voice and just the delivery of the single word smackerel is top notch. Like I don't know. I love it. That's such a good word. Just a smackerel.
I also love when he's like eating honey out of a pot that has no honey in it, and he sticks his hand in his mouth, just like that. That clear visual of his paw, like just in his mouth, and him like smacking on it. Mm-hmm. It just looks weird, funny.
When he gets caught in the beehive and it's like, oh, take your time. Don't rush. It's pretty good.
I love the detail of like Pooh always saying, like it's always about how dumb Pooh is,
Yeah.
but then it's
bear with
just
no
about
brain.
Christopher Robin saying how much he loves him.
Yeah.
It's never contradicting how dumb he is. Mm-hmm. It's just that like, yeah, but you're great.
He's simple. He's just a simple bear.
Or he's he's just a little black rain cloud. I love also like one of the details in the book. It's like said the cloud
Yeah.
goes all the way.
I guess I assume it's the same in all the versions of the book. What's with all of the random capitalization?
Like where?
He capitalizes everything. Like Piglet was a very small animal, and very small animal will all be like the first letter will be capitalized, or like I don't know. There's some stuff where it makes sense ish, but he'll just capitalize random words. Not entirely. It's not like he's matching. It's not like they're fully capitalized, but just the first letter. And some of it I got, and other times it didn't.
I don't know.
Well,
It did stand out to me.
I wonder if I could. Let's see if I can find something.
Find an
just-
example that was weird.
We'll just open to a random page. Okay, here we go. I don't know what story it's from, but it says like it won't do them any good, sitting on them. And it's Eeyore talking to Pooh. And good is capitalized?
the good.
I guess. All except me, said Eeyore, as usual. And usual is capitalized. There's just these weird... I don't know why. And it's like, it's fine. Obviously, it doesn't like affect it in any way. I just was wondering what the logic was. Unless it's supposed to be emphasis for something. But
Or it's just your weird printing of it. I don't know.
janky ass printing. It could be.
I don't know.
Someone decided that they wanted to throw in a ton of
Yeah,
caps.
without looking at the passage for certain and having it not stood out to me. I don't know.
Huh.
You know, it
Oh,
doesn't come up very often that Winnie the Pooh's name is Edward.
It does not. It's like I think the first one. Is it after?
Also,
Is
his
it mentioned
name-
at all after the first? Like couple stories or one or two?
No, it's like
Yeah.
only in the beginning.
Yeah. Edward Bear.
Look, because his name isn't Winnie. It's Winnie the Pooh. Or their Pooh. Beginning.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. Winnie the Pooh. Maybe it's like a
That's Christopher
accent?
Robin saying it.
yeah. Yeah, that and the
That's
Edward Bear
why.
thing. They just don't return.
Yeah. He's Edward Bear.
Edward Bear. I think the
That was the thing. Like the Russian version calls him Winnie all the time. It's like no, he's not Winnie. He's Pooh.
but he's Vinny.
Winnie the Pooh.
He's
or
Vinny.
Yeah, and they call him Vinny.
Vinny.
Like he's
Well, that's because
Italian from New Jersey.
it's because they don't have the W sound. Come on, lay off.
I mean, that part didn't bother me. It's that his name kind of isn't Winnie. It's Pooh or it's Winnie the Pooh. It's look. I'm nitpicking.
That actually, that's probably another just a weird thing that would have been awkward to do, because they don't have the. So it'd be at best it's Winnie Pooh, but I think just for how their names work and how saying people's names and stuff works, I think that just it comes off as awkward in that language.
Yeah, it's like how in Dragon Ball,
Oh, here we
Son
go.
Goku is often just called Son, because Son is his name. But in the American versions, they just call him Goku all the time, because calling him Son would sound weird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty accurate.
Yeah. Bringing it back to anime explains the answer
Terrible.
to all things.
Terrible. Couldn't keep it out of a. You're shitting all over this Winnie the Pooh episode. Your Japanese cartoons.
Who was your favorite character?
In Dragon Ball or in Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh.
I think it's probably Pooh.
Yeah, it's fair.
Like,
I think these days my favorite character is Pooh, but I as a kid, I think I like empathized the strongest with Eeyore, so he was
Yeah.
my favorite. That was the one that spoke to me as
That
to
does-
who I am the most.
that doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, I don't know. It really did like bring back that between just Pooh's general character and then the ending of the book really did bring back that whole like I can't do nothing anymore. I try as hard as I can to do nothing. It doesn't. I don't get too often.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think those are great kids books.
Yeah,
Just
100%. Like
Good stuff.
I did up a lot of Curious George when I was little. Like my grandma would read it to me, and I actually have the collection. It's probably as thick as the Winnie the Pooh book, but George was a piece of shit, dude.
Yeah.
He tried to ruin everything he got his little monkey paws on,
Yeah, man.
which is hilarious when you're a kid, but like
Yeah.
it's a story of kidnap and domestication of an animal that shouldn't be domesticated.
Yeah. Look. In Winnie the Pooh, it's just you shouldn't let a bear into a rabbit's den.
Yeah.
That he's gonna eat more than the rabbit has food around.
Now he's gonna get stuck in the door. It's gonna be a whole thing.
It's gonna be a whole thing, and they won't be able to eat for a week.
Yeah, I love how
They really cut that. That's one thing they do change. The Russian version, he's just like, he sneezes and he's out.
Yeah.
Like, clean that one up.
But the Disney version also.
The Disney version also does not go all the way either. No, the book. Oh, we're gonna have to sit here for a week and starve until you're skinny again.
Just gotta not eat for a week.
Yeah, man.
That's I mean, I could see why they did that.
Yeah.
Kids are ruthless, dude. You know that they would have got like little kids watch that in a Disney film. Like, oh,
Yeah,
Pooh
man.
just got thin. He got thinner by not eating for a week.
Yeah. So they just tell all the fat kids.
Yeah, don't eat for a week. Just stop eating. Which is like they're like half right. Calories in, calories out, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was funny. Also, the one thing in the Russian version, Owl sounded like a girl.
Yeah, they also like dressed him like a girl in that last scene.
Yeah,
They put the bonnet
but I think it was still a guy though. I was trying to listen. I think the words that they were using were still like the male version.
Yeah, it was again.
So-
That one had the one where it was just the Russian version Google translated for me, so I couldn't get any subtle. I was like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was hard to watch because I was, I know I was I was just trying to take it in because I knew I couldn't be nitpicky about
Actually, the
wording.
the wording was largely correct. I had Anya look at a chunk of it, and she's like, "Yeah, this is like, I mean, it's not
Again,
top
but
notch, but
subtlety lost, and that's what I was looking for was subtlety. Like I know the general
yeah."
stuff that's happening. I'm looking for minor details like tut tut not being there, Ben.
Oh my god. This fucking guy. Where's the tut tut though?
Where's the tut tut though? The tut tut is like the best part of that.
It probably means something in Russian. I don't know.
It could be.
I'll try it. Next time I talk to Ani, I'll just be like, tut tut. She'll be like, what the fuck did you just say to me? It looks like rain. Calm down.
Looks like rain. Tut tut.
Tut tut. But yeah, it's a good series. It's a good kids book. It's a good movie. It's gonna be in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Good bedtime story.
It also, the Disney version did the thing that was my favorite thing in Disney movies, which were the weird dream sequences where they let the animators run wild.
That dream sequence was a little freaky. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it's par for the course with a lot of other Disney movies. It's like the drunk scene in Dumbo.
Mm-hmm.
With the pink elephants on parade. That was like, okay, like, it's just like the animators going, I have all this creative energy. I need to,
It's
they
not
just
even
needed to fucking go for it.
for me. It wasn't even the animators or the animation. It was the music
song.
is like
Yeah, yeah,
disjointed. It's not. That's what freaked me the hell out.
It's a nightmare.
I guess.
I love that stuff. As a kid, that was my favorite Disney stuff. The favorite is when they really went for it.
That's yeah.
That's why I like
That's-
Winnie the Pooh and Dumbo and Pinocchio.
Your favorite part wasn't the crows in Dumbo?
No.
Really?
Dumbo. I mean, look, Dumbo does not hold up. I'm not saying Dumbo holds up at all, but I'm saying as a kid, I like that specific part of Dumbo a lot.
There is a dude. He's been in a couple of my classes. He was actually in my Russian class for a while, at least for first semester. And in one of our classes, we are watching Song of the South. And that's, a treasure. Can't believe it's on Blu-ray yet. And this guy was like, yeah, I want a copy of it. It's so incredibly... And he's like, he's a black guy, and he just thinks it's hilarious, like, how terribly racist it is. And he then was doing, like, his impression of the crows from Dumbo, and the professor walks in. Just like, what? He's like, no, it's Dumbo. It's fine. It's Disney. It's cool. It's all right. Thankfully, don't got worried about that Winnie the Pooh.
Super racist.
It's real bad.
It's real bad. Look, there's a lot of stuff. It's real bad. Not made with ill intention, but certainly harmful.
Yeah.
Certainly pretty
much like A.A. Milne was not
culturally awful.
Necessarily an upstanding person. Walt Disney also a little bit racist, a little bit anti-Semitic. It happens.
It's true. It's the world we live in. Writer of Winnie-The Pooh. Maybe not the best guy. He wrote a great kids book, though.
Yeah. Honestly, that's the important thing. The important thing is that, like, he didn't put in racist characters or, like, a character.
That's what, I mean, for a lot of stuff, and it's certainly easier with older stuff. Like, the line is, is it in the work? Like, do you see it seep through?
Yeah. I mean, the whole getting rid of Tigger's bounce and leaving him in the woods, that story is totally changed if Tigger is a Black Panther. It's like, that it just is, what you doing?
He's orange. It's fine.
Yeah. Only his stripes are black, but that's because tigers have orange or black stripes.
Look, he's the only Tigger.
You
can't extrapolate to any other person or creature. He's unique.
Actually, I believe in the Tigger movie, I don't know if they actually found other species of the Tigger or whatever.
Actually, in the 2011 movie, he tries to make Eeyore Tigger too. He puts a spring as Eeyore's tail and makes him bounce around. Eeyore does not. He doesn't have a good time.
That doesn't surprise me.
He prefers being an Eeyore than a Tigger.
Shockingly.
Which is like, yeah, no. Look, some people just aren't extroverts, guys. Come on. Some people are just sad.
Yeah. The important thing is that they're all still decent to him. And they still invite him places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. When Eeyore is like, I'll find a new house for Owl. This is a perfect
fucking
house
poor
for
Piglet.
Owl.
I just, like, Piglet's inability to confront
anything. Yeah.
It's like,
Piglet, tell him it's your house.
No, I know. Pooh's like, man, I feel so many more emotions in that scene than I did as a kid. As a kid, I didn't have empathy for Piglet, I would say. I liked Piglet as Pooh's friend, but really didn't feel. I feel way more for him.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, it'd be a great house for Owl.
Oh man! It's tragic because Owl is a piece of shit.
He's not that bad.
He's the least likable out of all of them.
Really?
I think, yes.
Why? What's your...
Because he likes to puff... I like him the least because he puffs himself up as being better than he is. Is his mode of dealing with people. He's
I'm
pompous.
Smarter than you.
Yeah, even though he's... Like, he has internal angst. Like, when he's trying to write that note on the honeypot for Pooh. He's fucking stressing out inside, but the way he interacts with others is always pompous. So I like him the least.
Yeah, I
Out of the other characters, I all really like.
I don't know. I mean, like, for me, least likable is a technical term.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's
Again,
like I don't think there's anyone unlikable in these stories.
yeah.
In my mind, it's like Rabbit actively tried to abandon someone in the woods. Straight up. I think I get it.
Rabbit would be second bottom on that list. I will say, but
I think if someone's least like
character is Pooh. I at least feel for Rabbit when Pooh is eating him out of house and home.
Yeah,
there's a moment of stronger empathy for him.
He could have said no at some point.
I mean, he did. He said there was no more when there was no more.
Okay, but before that though, he could have waited until, or he could have stopped it before Pooh was sitting there just slathered in honey at his table.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And then Pooh's stuck in his door, and he's like, "Well, I guess I could make it a coat rack or something."
Yeah,
he's like thinking of the practicality of the situation.
I gotta frame it.
Yeah, in the movie he goes pretty far. He draws a little face on it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, in the book he just like, I'll hang my washing on your feet.
Yeah,
little shelves.
He's just trying to make it. He's just trying to find the practicality of this
and you get to
unfortunate situation.
And you get to the film and it's like, I gotta frame that booty.
I can't deal with it. It's
he's like freaking out.
I really like in the movie characters do not understand mirrors.
Yeah, just the casual like, oh hi, hello.
Like it's one thing when like Tigger bursts into Pooh's house and it's like, it's another Tigger, and just freaking out. The other monster.
Yeah.
But then when Pooh like looks in his mirror and starts talking to himself.
Yeah. Or he's like telling Tigger that like, oh, there's the other thing is it's all gone except for its tail.
Hell.
I don't know. I like that though. It helps.
Yeah, no.
It helps blur that line between real and magic.
I just like that they're dumb.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that.
They're the creation of a kid, so they're pure in their simple things, but they're not. Yeah. None of them are like beyond what he could come up with.
Ignorance is bliss, baby. And those animals are blissful.
Look, when Christopher Robin asked Pooh what the best thing is, first he's just gonna say eating honey. But then he's like, no, it's not just eating. Sometimes it's the moment right before eating honey that's the best. But also, like, I like friends.
Yeah.
He gets there.
I like it when I come over and you suggest that we might have something to eat.
Yeah.
It's really, it's just good. Nice. It's just a nice thing.
It's nice, but it's not, and it feels real. Like,
yeah,
it's fantasy, but it's also feels true.
Mm-hmm.
To like simple emotions and thoughts of like and anxieties and stuff. What things people worry about.
It is something pure and good in a garbage world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's what makes it special. No, I'm glad that we did this and that I read it. Because it's real good stuff.
It's a thing worth reading for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For anyone, if anyone else is interested, you can get like the complete Tales and Poems. Like mine is a big ass like 460 page book with all the poems that A.A. Milne wrote even the non-Winnie the Pooh ones, and then the stories, and it was like $10 used. Get it from any used book website, honestly.
Yeah, no.
That's in good
Popular
condition,
book.
too.
Widely
Yeah.
published.
Yeah. There is no lack. I had to triple check which one I was getting. There is no lack of editions out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I have two. The books I have are two separate books for the first collection, and then the House at Pooh Corner for the other half.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's a podcast. So
Yeah.
you can email us at saltcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us at soundcloud.com/saltcircle. We're on Twitter at saltcirclepod. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, other podcasting platforms as Salt Circle Podcasts, and you can find me on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm on Twitter at bean_LP.
You never can tell with bees.
Tut tut.
It looks like rain. Tut tut.
Tut.